As we get ready to close out 2018, it's a time of reflection. And as I think back of all the great devices I got to use here this year, two stand out above the rest. Now, I wanted to start this video with a disclaimer. I personally did not use some of the really amazing devices like the Mi Mix 3, the Razer Phone 2, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the Poco Phone F1, or some of the Nokia phones. But I did get to use the Galaxy S9, the S9 Plus, the Note 9, the LG G7, LG V40, Pixel 3, BlackBerry Key 2, OnePlus 6 and 6T, the Moto G4, the iPhone XS Max, and the Sony Xperia XZ2 and XZ3, not to mention a few that I'm probably forgetting. But today, I'm going to tell you why these are my two favorite phones of the year. So in before the OnePlus pays XDA comments. No, OnePlus did not, has not, and will never pay for my opinion. So here are my reasons for why these are two of my favorite phones of 2018. Now first, I'll be frank, let's get the downsides out of the way. The camera is not really that dependable. The speakerphone is kind of poor, especially on the OnePlus 6, and the vibration motor is especially bad on the 6. Call quality isn't the greatest, but aside from robo-spammers, who makes calls in 2018? As I discussed in my last video, I also have issues with Oxygen OS. The OnePlus 6T's fingerprint scanner is a step back at best and pretty bad at the worst. The OnePlus 6T also drops the headphone jack and you lose the notification light. So why is it that these two are still my favorite phones of the year? Well, for as annoying as Oxygen OS can be, it's the best skinned Android version you can get, and is only slightly behind the Pixel pre-Pi in terms of usage. The camera, for all of its downsides, is still pretty good, and although it has issues, it does have great Gcam support through our developer forums, and it makes up for a lot of those shortcomings. The display is also pretty amazing. Only top-shelf $800 plus flagships have better displays in terms of accuracy and brightness, and the OnePlus 6T panel I think is superior to the Pixel 3 panel, despite it being slightly inaccurate. Performance is also second only to the Pixel, and the two are nearly indistinguishable. In exchange, you get up to 10 gigabytes of RAM, which, to be honest, is overkill, but you also get 256 gigabytes of internal storage, both of which the Pixel simply doesn't offer. Battery life is also stellar on the 6T and excellent on the older 6. They also offer a high degree of craftsmanship, and despite its official IP rating lacking, it's going to keep you protected against most spills and maybe even some drops into the sink. OnePlus has also done an amazing job getting OS updates and staying up to date on security patches, something that, to be honest, I was really skeptical about when they first announced it. Currently, the OnePlus 6, 6T, 5, and 5T are all on Android Pie, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest to see the 3 and the 3T getting a beta update here in the next month or so. So when is the G5, the Samsung Galaxy S7, and the HTC 10 getting Pie? Who knows? So between these two, which one do I recommend most? Well, it depends. Overall, I feel the OnePlus 6 is a superior device, especially if you can snag it on sale or get the awesome red or white color, neither of which have launched with the T variant. The fingerprint sensor on the back plus the facial unlock are excellent, and you get to keep the headphone jack. However, if you want to keep on the bleeding edge, the under-display fingerprint sensor and the teardrop notch bump up the cool factor quite a bit on the T. The battery life is also superior on the T, and my T model has better speaker and a better vibration model, although I don't know if those are due to changes that OnePlus made or are just variances among devices. The 6T is also a bit heavier, and despite it feeling a bit more premium, the OnePlus 6 feels better in your hand. It has a good balance of weight and curves. So, unless having Verizon US support, a longer lasting battery, and the McLaren edition matter to you, I would probably recommend the older 6. So now it's time for my runner-up of the year, and I think this one's going to be surprising. This award goes to the BlackBerry Key 2. So like the OnePlus 6, let me get the bad things out of the way first. The display is still really dim, and it's a pretty poor quality in terms of LCD displays. There is light bleed around the edges, and it's still pretty expensive for what it offers. Seriously, for like $50 more, you can get a OnePlus 6T. The camera is pretty terrible, the build quality is kind of lacking in some ways, especially buttons. But boy has this device improved since it launched. When I first got my Key 2, I wrote a long review that was really harsh, and I ended up deciding against publishing it, hoping the phone would get improved. And boy did they deliver. Since I've gotten the Key 2, it's received every single security patch since August, and although it's still on Oreo, the phone has gotten a lot of noticeable improvements. The first is performance. Initially, performance was solid, but anything BlackBerry branded performed really terribly. That's been fixed. The side convenience key that was rather useless got a great update that enables Google Assistant walkie-talkie mode by holding it, accessing Google Lens by double tapping it, or getting the Google Assistant with a single tap. Battery life, which was excellent, has improved, and nearly every aspect of this phone has improved in one way, shape, or form. You also get the backlit physical keyboard, which is the definition of more than meets the eye. Seriously, Transformers have nothing on this thing. You can swipe to type, you can swipe to delete, you can swipe to select recommended words, and you can use it as a cursor and an app launcher with 2 simple button presses. From the home screen, you can use it to launch any application you want to with a short press or a long press, or you can turn off the short press shortcuts and have it start searching when you type. The spacebar also functions as a really good fingerprint sensor, and one of my favorite updates lately has been the ability to turn off the terrible capacitive light backlight keys on the capacitive keys above the keyboard. I also love that the Key 2 is a throwback to devices of old, where you don't need to keep a case on it to keep it from happening an expensive accident. The back is like a rubberized plastic that feels good in your hand, and the frame is a sharp, boxy aluminum. There's no glass on the back of this phone. It makes it tossable, and really makes me miss older phones where I could just sit it anywhere and not worry about it sliding off or hearing that terrible crunching sound of glass on the back of a phone. It's just terrible. On its own and on paper, the BlackBerry Key 2 does not sound like the best device around, but in my experience, it's among the best that you can spend your money on and is one of the more dependable devices you can find. Now, some of my runners-up are the Sony Xperia XZ2 and the Galaxy Note 9, but both of those eventually found their way out of my pockets for various reasons. And my Color Me Impressed award goes to the LG V40. But I'm still probably in the honeymoon stage on that one, so let's see how it goes. Overall, for 2018, my favorite phone is the iPhone XS Max, but this video was Android-based, so I wanted to keep that out of it. I hope next year I'm going to have a better chance to see a wider variety of devices, and I'll be bringing them to you here on XDA TV or through my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/DanielMarchena. It's linked in the description. I am going to be focusing more on my personal channel in the new year, so please check out the channel update I just posted. So that wraps up today's video, and a rather great 2018. I really can't wait to see what 2019 brings us. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to be notified of every video we publish, turn on the notification bell. As always, I'm Daniel Marchena with XDA TV, and I'll see you in the next one.